Go.
What's up, y'all? Sorry about last week. Had other stuff to do, but it was long delays. But here we are again. The last time we talked about this, we was on the Rangers. Then we picked up, we left over there when they had to abandon their old powers for the zero powers. But I don't know. I look back on it like, whose bright idea was to abandon dinosaurs and animals for shapes? But it was still a good series, especially when Jason came back as the Gold Ranger. Now I say that saved the series.
That was probably the most anticipated comeback from an old Ranger. I mean, everybody was into that. I still remember the last episode. You know, when I was young, he was always my favorite Ranger. And when I seen him, you always believed it was real because you didn't know about Hollywood at the time. I remember him just staggering in there, and the guy that owned the bar, the little lounge, at the lounge place.
Ernie.
Yeah, Ernie. Jason staggers in after a long fought battle, and you see him just kind of like go out like that in a blaze of glory. But you know, he did his job, and I was probably like, it wasn't like the first Rangers, the first season, and the second season, but you know, that was basically the shit right there.
Yeah. And then all this stuff going on. That was great, especially when I saw them team up with the Alien Rangers. I did say that I don't know that they should have had the season that they own, but what happened. It might have not been all that great of a season, but I think they was like getting realistic with shit to make things better since folks lost interest in the old Rangers, like Rocky. They found the blind girlfriend or whatever, and then Tanya had a boyfriend that was a jackass. But it was before Jason came back as the Gold Ranger. It was a guy named Trey that was Gold, but he got injured and needed somebody to replace him till he heals. But it was a lot of mysteries about who's going to be the Gold Ranger. It's going to be Billy, Tommy's brother, and that's his brother in real life also. Tanya's boyfriend named Sean. The other guy that was on the show. Well, we found our answers. And then they was answered then. The season they had, but that's much on the Zeo Century. Then came out next was the Turbo movie. I say this movie was no better than the original. Yeah.
The reason why I'm not really doing much talking is I'm letting Black Ice speak on this because I was just a fan of the original Power Rangers. Didn't like to the movie. Then after the movie I did dig, but I'm gonna let Black Ice finish this. And stay tuned for other videos.
But Turbo movie came out. I think it could have been better than the original one because they called all those old Rangers back. Austin, Amy Jo, Walter, Tweet, Karen Ashley, and Bill and David Yost. He had walked out on the set. They had plans for him too. If all of them would have been in it, I think he could have been better. But Walter and Tweet, and I think Karen also turned him down because they felt like they was giving up their union cards, and non-union actors can only participate. And Billy, he walked out on in Zeo. But y'all know his situation. The movie, well, it didn't do good in theaters, but when it came out on tape, it did well. It came out in March '97. I ain't see it till July when it came out on tape. I kind of enjoyed it. Nothing against it. But then they start the Turbo season. I kind of liked it. But when the replacements came in, I did adapt to them just that quickly. Faster than I did Rocky, Adam, and Aisha when they first came. Yeah, then that guy named TJ, he became my favorite Ranger after Tommy and them left. Well, I guess you can say, not to seem racial. Yeah, he was the first black guy to be the Red Ranger. He was the leader. Then they had a Mexican Ranger for the first time, Carlos. Yeah. Then they had Cassie and Ashley. They were cool too. Oh, hold up a minute. You got something to show you.
This is old. This ain't DVD. This is the original. I've had this for, God, 15 years. Right there's Mr. Ooze. And to show y'all that I'm not BSing, that is the Power Ranger tape.
But about the turtle season and movie, I guess. Yeah, the movie, they did get a little realistic with shit, like having Tommy fighting a snake and all that. Then Rocky, I did slip that up. I ain't even say that about Rocky. He got replaced by this kid. I know a lot of folks didn't like him because he was a kid. Folks was used to teenagers being Rangers. Then Rocky, I know folks appreciated Rocky more when he was the Blue Ranger, not being red. But they kind of felt sorry for him after he injured his back in the movie, after doing a crazy move. But Rocky had left the Rangers just to focus on this karate school that he was teaching. Tommy wanted to move on. Same with Catherine. That they just dropped Johnny Young and the Kia or some other places. Then that was that. The Turbo, I enjoyed it. Folks didn't like the Turbo season. Most folks didn't, or some folks didn't, but I enjoyed it personally. Then they had another Sixth Ranger, the Phantom Ranger. He never showed his face. I heard he was Zordon's son. But speaking of Zordon and Nappa, they had left. Because Dimitri and Appa 6 had took over. They had went home to their planet. Then when they was there, then Phantom Ranger had to help out his own planet. Then the Blue Centurion, him and Dimitri had to go leave Earth to save Zordon because he got captured in his hometown. Turbo Rangers lost their battle. Well, not battle, but they lost, well, whatever. They lost everything. Then they had to go on a space to chase our demon tugs. And they had to abandon Earth to live in space in their home. But they did come to Earth sometimes for school and all that. Then they had to get new powers. The green became the black and the red became the blue because it was already a Red Ranger from another planet. All the villains reunited and all that to take on the Rangers, and all that was good. Yeah, and there's another thing.
It's vintage. I just thought about it. I'm not trying to interrupt Black Ice's interview, but I just thought about showing this.
Yeah, I wish I had something to say and shit though. But then they end up having a Silver Ranger. Yeah, the Red Ranger's Andrew's best friend, Zane. He joined the team. But about he was having problems just like every other Sixth Ranger, like the Green Ranger and the Gold Ranger. They having problems with Strauss, but his got fixed. Unlike not like the Green Rangers and Jason when he was a Gold. He had to give it back to Trey when he healed. But that was a great scene. So you get on seeing cameo appearances by the Turbo Blue Ranger Justin and Adam. He had used the Black Ranger powers, but he was hurting himself doing it. Those were great times. Then it came the final battle. Buck and Skull finally stood up for themselves, and like everybody else, and fought those monsters off. Then the Red Ranger found out that his sister was an astronomer, and she was evil. But he had to save her. But I say he was the savior, because he ended up saving the Earth. He had killed off Zordon just to save the Earth, because Zordon told him to. He didn't want to at first, but that's what had to be done. Yeah, so that was the end of Zed and them, all of them. But yeah, it was breathtaking. But it was then, I thought it was over for the Power Rangers then. But folks that didn't have internet thought it was the end of it, but it really wasn't. And then, what else I got to speak on? The Earth was saving all that.
Well, before we set off, we got a little bit of time to say one more thing. The original Power Rangers from the beginning was awesome, but it kind of died of a slow cancer toward the end. But it will always be a test of time for what we grew up on. Thank you. Have a nice day.
we'll see y'all. Stay tuned.